The Austro-Hungarian Empire was a multinational state and one of the world's great powers at the beginning of the 20th century. And when I say multinational, I really mean it. The Austro-Hungarian Empire was made up of two main parts, the Empire of Austria and the Kingdom of Hungary, plus many subdivision kingdoms, duchies, counties, free cities, and one small part of Tianjin city in China. The empire also had many ethnicities, and depending on who you ask, there were around 9 to 14 different ethnic groups living in the empire. And ruling over this entire logistical nightmare was the royal family of Habsburg-Lorraine, with the last emperor being the blessed Charles I of Austria and the 4th of Hungary. The Austro-Hungarian Empire was dissolved after World War I in 1918, however before World War I the empire was the third most populous in Europe, had the fourth largest machine building industry in the world, and was the third largest exporter of machinery and electronic goods in the world. It was also geographically the second largest country in Europe after the Russian Empire at 684,846 square kilometers. To put that into perspective, Austro-Hungary was about the size of today's New England, plus New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, and West Virginia. So what if the Austro-Hungarian Empire were to be united today? Well, if the Austro-Hungarian Empire were to be united today, it will be comprised of the entire countries of today's Austria, Hungary, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and parts of Poland, Ukraine, Romania, Serbia, Montenegro, and Italy. As you would imagine, today's Austro-Hungarian Empire would be just as diverse, if not even more than 100 years ago. The empire would have a population of about 67.5 million people, which would put it in the 21st spot on the world stage right after Thailand, but before the UK. However, considering that the population of the empire was 52.8 million people in 1914, it is a difference of only 14.7 million people in over 100 years, which is much smaller compared to UK's, France, Spain's, and Italy's population growth since 1914. This small population growth can be mostly credited to the economical and political state of the area in the past 100 years. Today's Austro-Hungarian Empire would be made up of many ethnicities, with the largest ones being Hungarians at 16%, Czechs at 14%, Austrians at 11%, Ukrainians at 10%, Poles at 8%, Slovaks, Romanians, and Croats at 7% respectively, and all other ethnicities are 4% or lower. The chart of spoken languages within the empire would closely resemble the ethnicity chart, with Hungarian, Czech, and German being the most spoken languages respectively. However, the Czech and Slovak languages are mutually intelligible at around 95%, and both of these languages are mutually intelligible with Polish at around 70%. The Balkan Slavic languages, Slovenian, Croatian, Bosnian, and Serbian are also mutually intelligible at around 81%. And to complete the circle, all Western Slavic languages are mutually intelligible with the South Slavic languages and Western Ukrainian at around 50% each. So that leaves us with 56% of the population being able to somewhat understand each other, at the minimum at least bargain, and 30% of the population Czech, Slovaks, Polish, and 16% of the population Croats, Bosnians, Serbians, Slovenians being able to converse with each other. The religious makeup of the empire would also be very diverse, with 41% of the empire being Roman Catholic, 19% being Orthodox, 14% agnostic or non-religious, 5% Protestant, 4% Islam, 2% Greek Catholic, and the rest 15% being undeclared or other religions. Now that we have the land and the people, we can't have an empire without an emperor. Or an empress, but thankfully we won't have to look far, as the former ruling family of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, the Habsburg-Lorraine, are still in existence. Although in 1961, Otto von Habsburg renounced all claims to the Austrian throne as a necessary legal condition to being allowed to return to Austria, for this hypothetical scenario we will happily re-give the Austrian throne to Otto's son, Karl von Habsburg, the current head of the House of Habsburg-Lorraine. Now with an empire, we need to decide on a capital. The largest cities in the empire would be Lviv in Ukraine at 730,000 people, Krakow in Poland at 760,000 people, Zagreb in Croatia at 790,000, Prague in Czech Republic at 1.3 million, the former capital of the Hungarian Kingdom Budapest at 1.7 million, and the capital of the former, but also if created today, undeniably modern Austro-Hungarian Empire, Vienna at 1.8 million people. The GDP of the empire would be around 1,202,284,000,000 US dollars, putting it 15th on the world stage by GDP, right after Spain and before Mexico. The GDP per capita of the empire would be $17,812, giving the empire 39th spot on the world stage, beating out Czech Republic and just short of Greece. However, the distribution of wealth in the empire would be very uneven, as Czech Republic and Austria alone would account for 53% of the entire empire's GDP, even though they compose only 25.7% of the empire's population. Today's Austro-Hungarian Empire would also have the fourth largest active military in Europe, right after Russia, Turkey, and Ukraine respectively, at around 239,000 active personnel. This would put the modern Austro-Hungarian Empire active military as the 24th largest in the world, right after Sudan and before Saudi Arabia. Now that we have the land, the people, the emperor, the capital city, and the military to protect it all, how is this modern Austro-Hungarian Empire going to be governed? Well, the Austro-Hungarian Empire was a personal union liberal autocracy before World War I, consisting of Austrian and Hungarian states which were co-equal. Foreign affairs and the military came under joint oversight, but all their governmental faculties were divided between respective states of Empire of Austria and the Kingdom of Hungary. So basically, the Austrians and Hungarians had their own autonomy to a certain extent, and the sizable Slavic and Romanian populations in the empire were being largely discriminated against. But now, 100 years later, considering that Hungarians and Austrians make up only 27% of the population in the modern empire, it would be advisable to give the Slavic and Romanian populations their own autonomy within the empire under the Habsburg-Lorraine crown. However, with the new autonomous regions in the empire, calling it Austro-Hungarian is quite unsuitable. Therefore, the last thing we should do is find a new name for the modern Austro-Hungarian Empire. How about the United Kingdom? No, I think I heard that somewhere before. How about the new Holy Roman Empire? Even though it's not holy or Roman or arguably an empire, but the Habsburgs were the historical kings of the Holy Roman Empire. What about the United Empire? Even though we're not really uniting any two empires? I don't know. You tell me, how would you divide up and govern the regions of the modern Austro-Hungarian Empire? What would you call it? What would be the main language? What would its flag look like? And if you live within the borders of the former Austro-Hungarian Empire, would you want to live in the modern Austro-Hungarian Empire? I'm genuinely very interested to hear your thoughts about it on Reddit or in the comments section. I could not have done this video without the animation help from Vitaj Slovakia, and if you like the animations, please go check out the channel by clicking here. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, please like and subscribe.